So I, 25F, have been with my boyfriend, 25M, for almost a year, and during our entire relationship he has struggled with waking up in the morning because of his ADHD. He sleeps through all of his alarms, which usually means he is late for work. Sometimes it's only 10 to 15 minutes, but it can also stretch to 1 hour. His boss likes him and has given him plenty of chances, but yesterday he got his last warning that if he doesn't show up on time, he will lose his job. We have had a couple of discussions/arguments about this over the last year because he believes it's my responsibility, as his girlfriend, to wake him up. But I don't. Despite me waking up from his alarms and being able to shove him out of bed, if need be, I don't think it's my responsibility. He is an adult, has known about his ADHD since he was a child, and should by now have found the method that works. Him making it my responsibility turns me into a caregiver, a mother, instead of a girlfriend. This doesn't mean I refuse to help him whatsoever. I have done plenty of research to find alternative methods, but either it didn't work or he refuses to do it. And I do wake him when his alarms go off, but he decides to go back to sleep right after. Had he not done that, I would gladly wake him up every single day. And I know this is only my perspective, and is most likely not true from his, but when he decides to just go back to sleep it makes it seem like he doesn't want to try. Not to mention the fact that he is especially grumpy/angry in the mornings and have, on several occasions, yelled at me for both waking him up and for not waking him up. And I don't want to help if he is just going to get mad, even though I know he doesn't mean it. But when his boss gave him his last warning yesterday, I felt so much guilt. Because had I just woken him up, and been persistent, he wouldn't be in this situation. So I am at an impasse. Is it my responsibility, am I in the wrong for not helping, or should he, as an adult, be able to do this by himself? Because I kind of feel like the but also not. Edit, I feel like I should mention more to the reason I don't want to wake him up. It's not like I can't, since I'm already awake, but first of all this affects my day too. I can't go to sleep before him, because our bedroom doesn't have a door, small apartment, so if he's watching TV or gaming it keeps me awake. This means I don't get enough sleep either, so when I have to do uni work during the day, before I have work in the evenings, I zone out and usually fall asleep, physically can't keep my eyes open. Which is why I wish I could keep sleeping for an hour or so longer, without having to worry if he got up or not, but I also don't want this responsibility because I love him. I want him to be independent, and I know we're in a relationship and we're supposed to depend on each other. And we do. But I don't want him to depend on me to get him to work on time, or to keep his economy in check or anything that would turn his life upside down should we break up. I need to know he can take care of himself in case something happens. Comment 1. NTA. If he was single, sleeping alone, he'd either found a way, or be in same trouble anyway. Instead of owning his problem, he tried to make it yours, and it backfired. Comment 2. This really needs to be top comment. Why is it okay to place blame on you? Why is it acceptable for him to shout at you whether you wake him up or not? It's not okay. The fact you have internalized his messed up view and feel to blame for his employment woes is very concerning, and I urge you to re-evaluate what this relationship brings for you. I, 24F, have been planning a girls' trip with my sisters and 2 friends for the past year and a half. We spent 2 weeks in Greece and I just got back yesterday. Several months ago my husband was told he needed his wisdom teeth out and was given several surgery date options. One for 3 months ago, one for the week I would be gone, and 2 or 3 options in October. The clinic was pretty booked out and my husband was in some pain, so I suggested he take the soonest available appointment to not only get it over with but fix his pain sooner. Plus I'd be out of the country the next available one. He didn't want to take the soonest one because it was too soon and he wasn't mentally prepared, and I assumed that meant he'd just wait till October. My husband informed me 3 weeks before I left for my trip that he had booked that time slot and he'd need me to stay home and take care of him. I told him that wasn't happening and he needed to either pick a later date or have someone else help him. We fought, but ultimately it was decided my mill would come take care of him and I'd still go. Over the trip I spoke to them both a few times and his surgery went fine and I continued with my trip. When I got home my mill confronted me saying how horrible of a wife I was and that I had neglected my husband and chose my friends over him. My husband is still angry and his entire family is pissed at me. I feel like he had several options and knew fully well that I wouldn't be home on the date he chose. That he sprung it on me way too last minute to change my plans or get any kind of refund, and I made it clear I would be going. He tried to justify it by saying the first date was too soon and the later dates were too far away, and I had to understand that he could only do that week. Comment 1. That's actually a controlling move. Not sure what your history is, but this might snowball into something worse. The previous comment was correct though. It's wisdom teeth. Big freaking deal. If he can't take painkiller on his own, he needs to tie himself back to mommy's apron strings. Comment 2. NTA. Weaponized incompetence. He did this on purpose. He's an adult, and it was his wisdom teeth. This is going to be the rest of your life, though. His imagined needs will always trample all over your actual wants and needs.